Alrighty, guys. Yeah, I hope you have been enjoying the videos I've been dropping of my buddy John and Aaron playing with my saws. I think I'm in there a few times. It's not no big deal. You guys see me run my stuff all the time. I thought I'd give you guys an opportunity to see my saws on a different wood pile with different operators, and I think the boys had a fun time. I don't think John wanted to put my 550 down. It's hanging up behind you guys. And the green saw and the shin sitting over there on the floor. I got to get them hung back up. But I will have more videos coming out. I've been super busy. I've got a 660 sitting right there that the parts come in the other day, and I got to get on that. But I've got a 492 that's going to be a work build. I gotta try to get it where it's easy to start, good torque, and I think that saw's gonna live with a 24 on it. I think he wants a 24 3/8 if I recall. So I'm gonna build that one slightly different than I do my other ones, and we might even dyno it just to see what that build does. I'm still hoping for at least 5.5 horse, but I'm hoping for a concentrated, you know, like 10.5 to 9, so somewhere in there, super concentrated, really good torque band to pull that long bar for severe duty work use. But I did manage to stop out at Joe's yesterday, and we pulled shoot, I think it's almost been a month ago, the one I split the transfers on. The gentleman that ended up with the blind ported 4910 sent me his used 4910, and the blind ported one, if I recall, made 5.77 horse, if I recall, and he loves it. He sent me pictures. I think I shared them on a post on here of some big trees that he's cut up. I guess he absolutely loves that saw, and he wanted me to build his other 4910, but he wanted it a little bit spicier. I don't have as many saws as I used to, because the last month or so I've unloaded a bunch of my collection, but I still have a good variety. It's nice to have, like I've got 3 different 7310s, and each one of them slightly different, and you know, it's nice to have saws that, like my green 4910 feels one way, and then that shin feels another way, but still fun. But he wanted a little bit zippier build, and I got the dyno sheet on that one. I forgot to send it with the saw, just send him a picture of it. It peaked out at 6.02 horse, and I got him 3.42 foot-pounds of torque. And looking at the sheet here, it was over 5.5 horse. Looks like 12,000 RPM all the way to 8,800 RPM. That's pretty broad banded. I think that's gonna. He cuts a lot of wood. I didn't want to zip it up too much where it would get too hot and not last for him. And that's got brand new rings in it too. It's a used cylinder, used saw, new rings. I suspect that thing, when she fully breaks in and the compression gets to where it needs to be, that thing's probably going to be in the 3.5 foot-pound torque range, and probably closer to 6.1 horse probably after she's totally broken. But either way, it is a little spicier than his other one, so pretty happy with that build. The 371, this has actually now been dynoed twice. Do I have? Thought I had. I should have had all this prepared a little little better. I do. Right here, 371. Now, when I pulled this the first time at 104 on the roof, the carburetor was acting up pretty good, and I don't think I had it tuned right. But it tickled 8 horse and made 4.61 foot-pounds of torque and was over 7.5 horse from 12,000. Well, there's 8, there's 7, halfway down. Probably 12.3, judging by the chart here, all the way to 8. That was over 7.5 horse. That's pretty good broad-banded. But when I was cutting with it, something just, I don't know. I wanted just a little bit more out of it. Especially, I don't know what the future holds for this thing yet. I don't know if I'm sending it down the road or not. So that was when it was with the 104 roof and screwed up carburetor. Now it's got a new carburetor, but I highly suspect, even though it says Walbro, I believe this is an aftermarket Walbro carburetor, or maybe it's a genuine Walbro carburetor from China. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is it tunes like it's supposed to, and that makes a huge difference on tuning your saw. And I bumped the exhaust to 100 on this. I didn't touch the transfers. I had the transfers a little higher with the 104 roof to keep the RPM up on it, and then I believe, if I recall, I want to say they're at 118. Typically on a 100 roof I do 120. Still achieved very similar numbers. It made 4.99 foot-pounds of torque. Leave it to Joe to always give me that 0.99 there. I bet with a little bit different tweaking on the tune, it's probably a 5 foot-pound torque saw, and it held the 499. Well, 4.8. It's right here for foot-pounds of torque. It held it from 5,600 all the way to 9,600. It held almost 5 foot-pounds of torque. That's why this thing pulls chain the way it does. And it is currently sitting at 8.53 horse. Have I built hotter ones? Yes, absolutely. Do I want to go back into this and change things? Absolutely not. This saw is an absolutely perfect blend of fun / work. Other than she doesn't look, I mean, it's not horrible looking, but it's, you know, the plastics need work, and the 371 cover does got one little fin missing out of it. But absolutely fabulous running work saw. And it held, let's see here. Let's just go for 8 horse. It held 8 horse or over from 8,000 almost kissing 12,000. Where, you know, for the arch, that's pretty good. I'm very very happy with this. It's like a perfect work saw. You couldn't ask for a better blend of reliability, fun, play, and work. Very very happy. That's a good saw. This is a good platform. If you guys are starting out porting, you want to learn how to port, pick up one of them clone saws. You know, like there's lots of them out there. There's white ones like I had. There's blue ones, like you can get a blue one from bluesaws.com. There's other people on Facebook that sell them. They're all over eBay. shoot, if you're not worried what brand that you're getting, you can go on Amazon and buy them, eBay. There's all kinds of, I don't know, what was that one I got? I think we got it through Alibaba or something. I know there's, in some of the groups, there's guys that bought the real bright orange ones. I want to think they gave $77 a piece or something for them. It seemed like I saw on it was either a forum or on one of the groups there. But pick up one of these, and even what's so nice about this model saw is it responds well if you do not have machining capabilities. I think I've built 2 of these now on the channel. They were clones where I didn't do any machine work, and I want to say they were, I think I got close to 7 3/4 out of the one and 7 1/2 out of the other one with absolutely no machine work, just grinding and muffler mod. So and running these in a work, from 7 1/2 to 8 1/2, these are awesome work saws. Super forgiving, easy to work on. Even if you got to split the cases, these are an easy saw to work on. I think the worst of it on these is finagling the tank to get the tank off on certain days. But super happy with it. I think that would be a good work saw for anybody. One probably everybody's curious about. I've built quite a few. Well, for other people I haven't, but for myself, and then gotten rid of them or traded off the ported cylinders or sold the ported cylinders. I've built them. I've gotten 8 horse. I think when I first started porting them, I think it was 8 horse, and then I went to 8.3, then 8.5, then 8.99. And then I was stuck at 8.99 for quite a while. I finally hit 9, or just a touch over 9. And then didn't like the way the saw felt, changed things back around. I think it's like just below 9, but a little bit better torque now. If you're wondering what I'm itching, got a bald spot here. I had some poison ivy. It's been bugging the crap out of me. But this one, I was trying to find, because I'm getting asked to port these all the time, and I'm thinking about starting to take on a few of these. I was trying to find a formula that is a little better than what I call my normal formula. And I think what I did to this and what I was putting out for other people's build, I think I'm going to blend the two together now that after seeing the dyno results. But this did really good. The weird sounds and stuff that I lost a bolt out there at John's. I'll have to look and see if my part saws got that. That's not good. But I'll have to look at my other one. I definitely lost something there. I'll get back on track. This made 8.66. Its best pull was 8.75, but the spark plug was acting up on it, and on the dyno we ended up changing the spark plug out, and we got that ignition weirdness to stop acting up, and then we started tuning on it, and we ended up settling on 8.66 for power. It made 4.74 foot-pounds of torque, but I honestly thought for sure it was going to put up more torque than that, because it pulls that 32 like butter. And then let's see here, we'll go through. Like, this is one of my other baseline run is 394, and we're at 474, so I got quite a bit more torque out of one of them, and they're not even, they're about 5.7 5.7 for horse stock, and this is 8.66, so I got quite a bit. Now this one I poured it in this sheet. I got 4.79 for torque and 8.96 for power on that one. This is another one. This is one where I got more torque, 498, but less horsepower. I got 8.05. I think that was my 8-horse build. That was a good work saw. I think I ended up selling that one. This is another where I was trying to, I think this was the piston swap. Got 491 for torque and 891 for power on that one piston swap. That was either the high compression one or it was the piston swap one. I didn't mark my sheet here. And then this is my standard build that I was doing for a couple different people. It's the 8.3 horse build I call it, and this is a different. This one peaked at 491 foot-pounds of torque too at 8.34 for power. Now the difference between, because I know people are going to want to know, I believe this was a 102 roof with the transfers set at the same height as the primary, if I recall. And then this one I moved all three of them up a little bit, and I think this is sitting at 100. So just a few different. This chamber barely did any chamber work at all. The 8.3 one I didn't do any chamber work at all. This saw doesn't require to get even 8.5 horse. You do not have to do chamber work on this, and the reason is there's so much squish to begin with from Echo that it makes such a huge difference just by setting the squish. When you start swapping pistons and stuff, it gets a little bit more involved. This was another one of the cylinders that I did. This one was 8.99, and this one was a torque monster. I wished this was a taper top build, and I destroyed this cylinder. I took it off and did things to it after this pull, and then didn't like it, did more things to it, and then I ended up getting to where I couldn't bring it back, and I actually ruined that cylinder. I mean, I think it's still at like 8.5 horse or something, but it's a former shell of this dyno pull. But it was a long bar pulling son of a gun. It was making 5 foot-pounds of torque, and even at 5,000 it had 4.79 foot-pounds of torque, and it started at 6750 at 5 foot-pounds, and it held it. It was still making at 10,750, so that was a real broad-banded. Such is life. I gotta read this one. This one says high. I got 2 pulls on this one. This is the high compression one, 8.85 with 5.04 foot-pounds of torque. I liked the pull that high compression one had, but I didn't like the heat buildup. It got too hot too quick. It wasn't worth a snot to work with. It was just fine to go out and cut cookies. And then I bled it down. Actually bled the compression down. Took it from 270. I think it's at 190. I took it down to 190. Maybe 185. I can't remember now. But it bled off torque, but the power come up. It made 9.003. So I've been dabbling and doodling in these 7310s, and it's a toss up between these two. If I got called tomorrow and said, hey, I need you to go cut this tree up in, it's 30-inch diameter oak or whatever, I would grab either one of these. I wouldn't sweat it a bit. Yeah. So I just thought I'd give you guys an update. Man, my arm itches. I need to quit trying to get that to clear up. It was all broke out real bad, and I've been putting cream and ointments and stuff on it. Yeah, so well, I know people are going to ask about that green saw. I guess I'll remember what 4910 that one was, but that was a six horse one too. But all right, we got one right here. One of my 4910s. That was a big one. That was the green one. 5.75. I think that was the blind ported one. Here's stickers. 6.23 in stickers is a torque freak. It's making 3.64. Man, that saw is an absolute hoot to run too. I should have drug that out there too. I bet the guys would have got a kick out of it. But I only had room in my truck for so many saws. Here's another one of stickers at 6.20. It's got one of my. That was the hottest one I've ever done. My record to date on them 4910s for the most power was 7.4, and I no longer have that combo. I could probably build another one, but believe it or not, that 7.4 one wasn't as fun as my green saw. Let's just put it that way. Maybe for cookie cutting. This is another one of stickers, 6.20. This is where that one says stickers as well. Why is that? Oh, that's when I was testing. Just tickled 6 horse basically with the full circle crank, and then I took the full circle crank back out, and then it jumped from tickling 6 horse to 6.20. So some port jobs don't like a full circle crank, and then other ones, that experimental one with the funky port work on the full circle crank, that runs great. I tried it on an open crank, and it wasn't so hot. So just different port jobs. If you run a full circle crank, you got to port a little differently. Let's see here, which one was this? That was a 57712. Can't remember what that one was. There's a 563. That was a good running saw. Were some when I was testing the 30-degree blowdowns. I built some strong mid-range. These were at 30 degrees. They were all in the 5.5 horse range. 30 degrees of blowdown. This is another big one, pretty big one. Don't remember. I think I sold this one. This one was 3.4 foot-pounds of torque, 6.24 of horsepower, and I think that was that all blacked out one with the orange stickers on it that had the A2D filter set up on it. And I heard from that gentleman the other day that purchased that saw, and he says he absolutely loves it. He says it puts a huge smile factor on his face, which that in return always makes it feel good for me. If it puts a smile on your face, it was worth it. Here's one that was 6.1. I know exactly which one that is, and it's 3.78 foot-pounds of torque. That's my very first one I did. It's sitting on 29 degrees of blowdown. I still have that saw, It's the very first one I ever hit 6 horse on, and it's sporting 29 degrees of blowdown, and that saw lives with an 8-pin on it. That's the one in one of my videos where I tipped up a big oak round. I had an 8-pin 20-inch bar on it, and I was cutting through that thing, and even though it was vertical, when the weight of the log come down onto the bar, it had enough torque where it twisted the log and pushed it right off. You know, and it was a big old monster piece of oak. That saw is an absolute beast. You've also seen it with an air filter sticking out of the back of it where I was butchering up a cherry tree with it. Day in the Woods, I think is what I called that video, if I recall. More 4910s. I've probably, on the 4910s, guys, I probably have put more, it is probably my most researched saws. I've done so many of them. Here's the other shin. That's the one with the twin pipes sticking out the front. That the last time I raced it, I took 3rd place with. That's a 6.13 and 3.48 foot-pounds of torque. That's a good running saw too. I don't really play with it that much though. We'll talk about the new shin here in a minute because it's a little bit zippier. There's another one, 6.1, 5.89. I sold that saw to, I can't remember to who. I've had a lot of 4910s. Here's that monster one I did. That was 7.41, and that one made 4.28 foot-pounds of torque. I should have kept that cylinder, but I tried different stuff with it, ended up ruining it. Right here. That is the one I have up on the shelf, and that one's, I think I've got an 8-pin set up on that one as well, and there's a video of it running an 8-pin, and I think there's a video of me cutting on a trailer, I think, with it, but that one's 3.64, and that one's 6.4 horse. That is a pretty stout saw. It's another 5.7 one. Here's another 6.42 one. What year was that? Last year. I think I sold that saw. Here's one, 7.22. That was my Reed build. That's 108% gain over stock, if anybody's wondering. Here is the first shin, 6.15. Here's another one of Stickers. I think that was Stickers' absolute best pull. That was 6.58 on horse on that one. Stickers is a stout saw, guys. It's a lot of fun to run. Here's another 5.8. Oh, let's see here. 5.63. That was a good work saw. And then this was the cylinder that is on that red shin that you guys seen cutting on the test mule saw. This was the newest run I got of it. 3.26 foot-pounds of torque, and 6.74 is the horsepower of what that cylinder made on the test mule saw. Now that test mule saw, with everything I've got done to it, every time I've pulled the cylinder off when I'm experimenting with that and then put it on a different saw and had it re-dynoed, it was always probably, you know, a tenth more, because that test mule saw's got a screwed up carburetor. I had a funky, it's got some funky stuff going on. How do I word this? The parts aren't good enough, like I could throw on something and sell it, but they're perfectly fine for me to test. and because I'm familiar with how the parts behave on that, I can wear that case out trying things and then bolt it into something that I like. Like if I come up with a combination that I really, really like in there, I can stuff it, say, in that shin like I did, and it made really good power. But that shin scoots. That thing is super fun. If I don't end up getting in a bind, I actually might race that if I can get to Sawfest this year. Now the 6.41, that's the black one up on top of the shelf. And then that was my 7.41. This was the cylinder that's on the green one. This was the test mule saw. It made 7.04 horse on the test mule saw. And when I built the green saw, I transferred that cylinder and piston onto that green one because I liked how it behaved. And what was the torque on that? 3.56. So that's why that thing is so fun to run. And then I have, this was the second, or this was the best pull of the cylinder that was on. This was the experimental one. 3.56, 6.96. That was, oh, that was after the retweaks with different piston. Okay, yeah, I remember now. I'd done some piston modifications and then did away with piston modifications, then had it repulled. And what was the other? It was like 6.7 something. 6.74. So, yeah. Yep, because this was pulled 3.13 and this was pulled 4.12. So yeah, so the shin cylinder piston, the piston and combination that is on my second shin right now is 3.56 and 6.96, and there's more in it. I'm still rocking a stock carburetor, and then I did not thin the shafts on it. I might. If I get time, I might do that. I might make a video, get a test, cut through a log with a certain chain, then we'll pop the carburetor off and I'll modify it, put it back on there, and because with that part saw that was sent to us, I think I have a stock carburetor now. So yeah, I think I can modify that, flip flop it, and yeah, see what happens. But those that stuck through with all this, thank you very much. I know it's kind of boring talking about things. I want to say this too to the guy that said you were going to buy the 2511. By this weekend, I'm going. If you do not get a hold of me and we figure something out, it's going to get sold. It might even get sold before then. I got a tree service stopping by, and if he's got cash in hand, it might go away. But yeah, lots and lots of info. So I got a plasma cutter in here that I got to do. Man, I've been blibber-blabbering for 33 minutes. I got a plasma cutter in here I got to do a video on, but I'm thinking about taking the dumper out of my red truck, and I'm actually thinking about building that dumper into a low to the ground dump trailer that I can get my excavator into, because the frame is starting to show its rusty age on the dump truck, and that insert's like 1,200 plus pounds, plus when you stack it full of wood. So I'm thinking if I take it out of there and put my headache rack back up in the front, unfortunately I'm not going to like unloading wood by hand anymore, and I won't be able to get a dump trailer into the backyard unless the big tractor can pull it up the back hill, which I doubt it will, full of wood, unless I'm doing partial loads. But I could probably dump it out in front here and then use the tractor and bucket and scoot the stuff out back, but I hate moving stuff twice, 3 times. But yeah, I might make a video of using using that. And I got to pick up some more wire for that little tiny welder down there, and I might, when I go to do that, I might make some footage on that little welder. For a cheap little welder, that thing welds pretty good, and it's a whole lot easier to get outside than my big one. Yeah, so there'll be more. I'll put this video in between some more chainsaw footage, and then thanks for sticking with me. I know if you're seeing lots of shorts, that is the only way that YouTube seems to push the channel is through shorts. They don't seem to push it through the long videos. I had fun going out there, and thanks, Joe, for having me out at your place. I got to look and see what I'm missing here, because something... let me grab my other... Yeah, it's a bolt. I'm missing a bolt right here. I know John was clicking this on and off out there. I'm wondering... This could have fell off at Joe's Dyno too. So I'll send him a message and see if my bolt's there. But you guys take it easy and have a good one.